It is unclear where Great-Grandpa Jim came from because he was adopted and there is no birth certificate in the census records that I could find. Honestly, a lot of his early life was very difficult to research. I believe he grew up in Chicago. I was not able to find information about when he moved to Michigan again. What I do know is that in 1935, he married Dorothy Pierce in Elkhart, Indiana. Our family is one of the very first families to settle down in Parchment, Michigan, and a lot of us haven't left. Great-Grandpa and our town's founder, Jacob Kinnelberger, picked out the piece of land together to build my family home. The fact that he raised his children on the same street that I grew up on really makes me emotional. It just shows how deep my family's roots run. My mother told me that Great-Grandpa never threw things away and that the original blueprints for their house are still somewhere in there. She said that he didn't like to fix things, and when the family's furnace broke, he heated the house with kerosene. Just last year, the house was sold to my cousin, and they had to redo all of the electrical work because it was still the original wires from the 1930s, which is crazy to me. In order to afford his house and his 7 kids, he worked at the paper plant in town, which has been called a number of names over the years. That same paper plant is responsible for the poisoning of the Kalamazoo River and our town's water. But we can look past that. Great-Grandpa also owned a Dog and Suds restaurant, which is a small franchise drive-in that is similar to the root beer stand. The lot where the Dog and Suds stood has been vacant for years because, in my professional opinion, the selling price is way too high. On a completely unrelated note, Great-Grandpa was a family man. All 7 children and dozens of grandchildren and great-grandchildren gathered for every holiday, and eventually our family became so large that we had to rent out a church hall for Thanksgiving. All of his children graduated from Parchment High School, as well as many grandchildren and great-grandchildren, myself included. And in the high school, there are framed photos of every graduating class. And so on the walls, you can see generations of Elsmans. He passed away on March 1st in 2006 due to bone cancer. Great-Grandpa planted deep roots in Parchment, and his impact will last generations.